everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm just going to take like 10 minutes to introduce some things that I think could be relevant for people building in zk. I'm from Metis, which uses optimistic rollups to scale at the moment, but still think that there are some things that are interesting for zk rollups, and particularly for this audience that are related to L2s. So I don't know who can give me a hand to pass the slides. Thank you, Kat. You're the best. Yes, ready. So first of all, what's kind of the deal and the status with the L2s? Most of you probably have seen them. They are popping up everywhere. And the thing is that as time goes by, we have been reaching new all-time highs in terms of the number of L2s that we have on Ethereum, including zk L2s. The total value log has also increased in about, like, I think the number is about 125% roughly in terms of the value log, the transactions and everything, right? So L2s are not going anywhere. I don't think probably all of them are going to make it though. But there are some things that I think that anybody that is building in this space should be aware of. The first is that we have a serious issue with incentive alignment. Why? Because most of these L2s are running through something, using something that is called a sequencer to order the transactions, right? So when you send a transaction on an L2, what you're really doing is sending it to the sequencer. What happens is that most L2s have a centralized sequencer that collects the fees from the transaction. And that's how they are making money. And they are making a lot of money. The thing is that we know that having this centralized sequencer is an issue because whenever something happens, there is an issue with the centralized sequencer, so it presents a single point of failure, right? But decentralizing the sequencer presents a challenge, mostly because when you do that, what are you going to do with the revenue that you are generating, right? Now you're collecting all of the fees. If at some point you are decentralizing this, then what are really your incentives to split this with any other parties, right? So that's one of the key things that is challenging right now in the L2 space, and a lot of these zk L2s also have this issue. So let's go to the next one. Related to this is the issue with regulation. Right now, we are not seeing this in the L2 space, mostly because it's kind of new, but certainly they are going to look specifically into this issue of the centralized sequencer and having just one party controlling everything that happens with your transactions, right? So not only the regulation in this sense is inevitable and pose some risk for these L2s, but it is also kind of unknown how this is going to play out, considering that the path to decentralizing the sequencer is really kind of unknown at this moment, and there are several alternatives. I don't want to go into like the specifics of it, but you have decentralized sequencer pools, and you can have shared sequencers. So there is a bunch of alternatives, and each one of these implements like different mechanics and different games that are going to be of interest for the regulators, because in the end what's happening is how are you controlling what's happening with the transactions and with MEV, the Maximal Extractable Value. So that's another thing that you should know. And the last thing that I wanted to bring into the table is who is looking into MEV in these L2s. So I don't know if you are aware of this, but maximal extractable value means making money out of front-running transactions, right? So if I have a centralized sequencer, I have control over the order of these transactions. I can extract all of the value that I want from the transactions that are happening in my network, right? And nobody can